As Nancy Sinatra once said, these boots are made for walking. But what about these? Today I'm going to give you a brief overview of our hill walking and mainly mountain boot footwear here at Rock+Run. Throughout this video we're going to be mentioning B ratings, so I thought I'd start out by explaining what that is. The B rating covers several different traits of a boot, but it's mainly to do with their stiffness. This B rating goes from B0 all the way up to B3, which ranges from hill walking all the way up to expedition mountaineering or ice climbing. So starting with B0, this is going to be our hill walking category. B0 boots, they're very flexible. They're generally 3-season or very mild winter conditions, just because the boots aren't generally going to have loads of insulation. They're not crampon compatible, but are often compatible with micro spikes. Think hill walking in the lakes with the occasional snowy path. Some of our favourite suggestions for this category would be the Rush LT from Scarpa, the Equilibrium Hike from La Sportiva, and the Salewa Wildfire NXT Mid. All of these boots are going to be pretty lightweight, very comfortable and very flexible. Moving on to B1, which is going to be our first crampon compatible boot. B1 boots are going to be semi-stiff mountain walking boots that are 4-season, so they would be more suitable for winter days, but not in very harsh and cold conditions. Since B1 boots are a little bit stiffer than B0s, they're going to be ideal for hiking over multiple days with a heavy load or winter walking across England or mild Scottish winter conditions. They will take a C1 walking crampon. They'll do a little bit of scrambling, but nothing particularly technical in crampons, because again, they're not that stiff. The ones that we would point out to you would be the Scarpa Mescalito Trek Pro and the Zodiac Trek. With an honourable mention to the Equilibrium Trek, which isn't technically B rated as far as we're aware, but offers a stiffer alternative for multi-day hikes to the Equilibrium Hike. B2 boots now, and this is where we start to get into the real meat of our mountain boot range. B2 boots are going to be stiff mountaineering boots that are 4-season. They're noticeably warmer than B1 boots and will be happy with summer alpine, and the warmest B2s will be able to manage the harsher winter Scottish conditions. They're still not warm enough for very high altitude in winter or extreme cold conditions. And they would be C2 crampon compatible, which would be a semi-automatic crampon. So these boots are going to be ideal for more technical, classic mountaineering or longer winter walks when you're going to be spending a lot of time in crampons. Now there's a broad range of B2 available. We're going to talk about B1.5s and B2.5s a little bit later on in the video, so stay tuned for that. But you can see a very clear divide between more modern, lightweight focused boots and more traditional, slightly heavier but very robust and warm B2 boots. For the more modern picks, we'd like to shout out the Salewa Apache, the Scarpa Rebelle Light HD, the Taste Light from Mammut is also a stunning looking option, and the La Sportiva Trango Alpine. All very stiff, technically capable boots in a more lightweight package to the more traditional options available. For the more traditional champions, we'd recommend the La Sportiva Karakoram or the Manta Tech by Scarpa. Both of these boots have a pretty legendary reputation and a traditional build which makes them incredibly rugged. So if you don't mind the weight but would like a really rugged tank of a boot, these two B2s are what I would recommend you look at. Oh, hello there. If you're really enjoying yourself, why not hit the like and subscribe button down below? It's a really good way of helping support the channel. Anyway, back to the video. Woo! On to the big guns now, let's talk B3. So B3 boots are going to be the stiffest mountaineering boots possible. They're ideal for ice climbing or for high altitude expeditions. They're going to be the warmest boots with the top models designed for 8,000 meter summits. And of course they are fully automatic crampon compatible, so a full C3 crampon can fit onto these boots. They're designed for the most technical routes and vertical ice, and they can withstand the harshest conditions and cold, depending on the model. Like with the B2s, B3s are also seeing a bit of a split between more modern, lightweight influenced design and traditional, heavier but very robust models. In our range, we're lucky to host mostly lightweight, high altitude alternatives such as the Nordwan 6000, Phantom 6000 and La Sportiva G2 Evo. If you're a keen ice climber, we also have some lovely lightweight options in the G-Tech, G-Summit and the Phantom Tech. These boots are surprisingly agile and give you some great weight savings on the equivalent traditional models. However, in the spirit of if it ain't broke, don't fix it, we still have some classics like the Nepal Extremes from La Sportiva, with the more recent addition of a lightweight Nepal Cube model, alongside the Scarpa Mont Blanc Pro and the Mammoth Kento Mountain High. All of these boots are going to be a little bit heavier, but again, offer that really rugged traditional build quality. Now to round us off, I'm going to talk a little bit about these B1.5 and B2.5 boots that you might be hearing about. So starting with B1.5, we've found this is an increasingly popular category because of how versatile the boots are. Our boot expert Nick actually recommends having something like a B1.5 and a B3 covers you for so much over your mountaineering journey. So B1.5 boots are very lightweight and semi-flexible. They can still take a C2 semi-automatic crampon, but would generally be happier with a flex bar if you're going to be walking in them for a long period. That would be our recommendation. However, for shorter, more technical terrain, a rigid bar on a C2 may offer more support. Because of this flexibility, it again gives them great versatility over terrain not having to wear crampons, but when the need arises, they can happily take a C2 crampon. The frontrunners in this category for us would be the Zodiac Tech from Scarpa and the Equilibrium LT or ST from La Sportiva. Both of these boot ranges offer fantastic build quality and great comfort with that added versatility over multiple different terrains on and off of snow. The only thing we would mention about B1.5s is that they're not the warmest boots in the world. So again, they'd be happy in summer alpine or either side of a Scottish winter, but they're not great in the harshest and coldest of conditions. That might be where the more traditional B2s or even a B3 might suit you better. So a very brief talk about B2.5s. Now we only offer one of these at the moment, which is the Trango Pro. It is technically still only a B2 and C2 compatible boot, but it's trying to bridge that gap between B2 and B3 by adding features like an inbuilt gaiter and a very sturdy sole unit. So it's designed for the height of what B2s are capable of in the technical realms. So very technical gullies or ridge lines might be a place that they thrive. They're going to offer that versatility and lightness whilst retaining a very stiff sole unit. So they might be well optimized for people out there who are doing particularly technical ascents but not in extremely harsh conditions. Certainly something to keep an eye on. It's worth noting that even though you might now have a great idea of which boots might suit you, all of these boots are going to fit a little bit differently. So it's hard when you fall in love with a boot that might suit what you want to do, but it doesn't fit you. But don't worry, we've got quite a few different models available for you to try on. If you're in the South Lakes area or want to come and pay us a visit, we do offer a boot fitting service and we'd be more than happy to help you find the best boot to suit you. Thus ends our brief overview of our hill walking and mountaineering boot collection. Please leave us a comment down below if you'd like us to touch on any of these topics in more detail. So now you know which boots might best suit your needs, what about those crampons that attach to them? Well, if you're intrigued to learn a little bit more about crampons, click on this video that's coming up next.